Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome all of the viewers for the yet another live session. We as a Aussizz group, we've been doing this live session to provide information to all the international students or the students who are willing to come to Australia, pursue their higher education in different universities. So we are doing this live to provide you the information about the courses that the education providers are offering. So if just to begin with, just to tell you about the Aussizz group. So we are the education and migration company. We have 30 plus branches all over the world, and we've been providing services related to education, admission, visas like student visa, temporary resident visa, permanent resident visa, skill assessment, and all the other facilities for the immigrant or the interested people who want to come to Australia. So today in this live session, we will be talking about the courses offered by the International College of Hotel Management. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Prasamsa Shakya. I'm a qualified education consultant cum education team manager here in Adelaide City Office. And today we have Dina Putri. She is a regional recruitment manager from ICHM. So I would like to welcome you in this live session, Dina.
Thank you, Prasamsa. Thanks for the introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Dina, and I'm the Regional Recruitment Manager here at International College of Hotel Management, ICHM, which is in Adelaide.
So yes, thank you. Thank you for your time, Dina. And then, so just to begin with, International College of Hotel Management is one of the world's leading hospitality business school. And it has been like offering higher education delivered in business and hospitality courses. So just to begin with, Dina, can you tell us something about ICHM, like in detail?
Yeah, of course. So ICHM, also known as International College of Hotel Management, we were established in 1992 by the Littman family in conjunction with the South Australian government and Swiss Hotel Association back then. And now we are part of the Up Education Group since December 2019. And we currently only have one campus, which is the one in my background. We're located on Curry Street in Adelaide. So not so far from the Aussizz office here as well in Adelaide.
Yeah, so it's good that it is located in the city only, right?
Yes,
and then
that's
it's a
right.
heart in the Adelaide. Yeah, so it'll be easy for the student for transportation, and then all good. Yeah. So moving forward. If you have to tell some benefit about the courses or the international student if they pursue their higher education in Australia. So what are the facilities or the benefits that you guys are offering for the international student?
Yes, of course. So first of all, like you mentioned, the campus is strategically located in the city. So it's very much walking distance to public transportation, such as bus, trams, and train in Adelaide. It's also close to our industry partners, so all the hotels in the city as well, which makes it easier if international students do take up casual employment in those hotels during their study with us at ICHM. It's easier access for them, but also for their work placements during their study here with us. The campus is also close to cafes and restaurants, the Adelaide Central Market, which is quite iconic here in South Australia, and that's all walking distance within the campus. There are also a lot of student accommodation within the vicinity. So things like Scape on Weymouth Street, which is only a 7-minute walk to the campus, is one of the closest student accommodation we have here. On top of that, the other benefits that we provide students is that paid working placement during our course, which I explain that a little bit more later.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. It's awesome, like definitely good location. And then, that's attractive for the student to be on city, like the heart of the Adelaide. Yeah. And just to add on to this, if I request all the participants, if you have any questions related to the course or anything related to ICHM and the courses that they offer, you can write down your question in our chat box and we'll get back to you at the end of the session. So yes, Tina, just moving forward to the live session, would you mind providing us the information about the courses that you offer?
Yes, certainly. I'll just share my screen
Yes, sure.
for you. So yeah, we sort of touch base on, ICHM as one of the world's leading hospitality business schools with 30 plus years of success. We're also one of the only hotel school in Australia that offers 50% academic study and also 50% paid industry placement for our bachelor degree. So it's a Bachelor of Business in Hospitality Management that has that 50% academic study and 50% paid industry placement structure. We also, as a postgraduate study option, we offer the Master of International Hotel Management as well. We touch base on the location of where we are in terms of our campus. So we are located in Adelaide, South Australia. It's the number 3 most livable city worldwide, which is ahead of Perth, Melbourne, Brisbane as well. So we're really proud of that. And it's still quite affordable to live here in Adelaide. I'm sure Prasamsa can sort of attest to that as well.
Yes. Yes, so of course, like Adelaide being third livable city in the world, like location-wise, transportation, accommodation, it's very affordable, and the weather here is also like good, very good comparing to the other cities.
Yeah, excellent. And at ICHM, we have a new campus which is situated in the city. We have 6 collaborative teaching studios on campus, wellbeing hub where students have access to library and also learning support team. We also have study areas, student lounges that a student can access Wi-Fi. They can have group discussions, things like that on campus. We also provide student with a kitchen area where we provide things like microwave, fridge, toaster, coffee, tea, that type of facilities as well. One of the standout features that we have on campus that we're really proud of is the training bar and wine room, which is what we call the light bar and training room. So this unique facility is what we use to do cocktail sessions, wine studies, restaurant service studies, and wine tasting during your courses here for both the Bachelor of Business and the Master of International Hotel Management as well. If you really want to see what our campus looks like and you are located internationally, we actually have virtual campus tour that is available on our website. So if you need the link, I'll be able to provide you later, but otherwise you can go to ichm.edu.au and find that virtual campus tour. We have had a very much positive overall experience from our undergraduate and postgraduate students recently, with almost in that 87%, which is above the national average result. This really shows ICHM as a supportive, and we really care about the student experience on campus. Yes, they might also spend time in industry during their work placement, but we still make sure that we are in touch with students during those times as well, and hence the results really show. So the courses that we offer really prepare students for management roles across a wide variety of hotel and hospitality businesses, and we really want students to learn from the ground up to make sure that they are equipped to be in that management positions in the future. We are ranked number 2 in overall employment rate, with 96% of our graduate gets employed straight away after they graduate with us. So that's a quite impressive statistics, and one that we are proud of. Even during COVID, we still managed to get our students 100% paid placement during that time as well. This is a course overview that I provided in this slide. Essentially for the Bachelor of Business and the Master of International Hotel Management are the 2 of our main courses, which I will go in details a little bit later. but this is just an overview with the start dates as we are moving into 4 intakes in 2024. So we've got the first one coming up, which is on the 4th of March, and then we've got 20th of May, 12th August, and 28th of October. And this applies to all of the courses that we offer here at ICHM. So the Bachelor of Business is 3 years degree, but each year students will only study 6 months on campus. So they do full-time study for that 6 months, studying 8 subjects. And then they will go into a 6-month paid work integrated learning placement, which they can choose whether that will be in Australia or possibly overseas as well. Now, during this placement, they are required to complete a minimum of 500 hours, which means in total for the 3 years, they will need to complete a minimum of 1,500 hours to graduate. Now, students are equipped during their time with the Bachelor, studying the Bachelor of Business Hospitality Management with business management skills. So not only hospitality skills or hotel skills, we also equipped students with things like brand management, sales and marketing, human resources, revenue management, and networking capability as well. And students must successfully complete the 8 subjects during their academic semester to be able to go to the work integrated learning placement. And during the work integrated learning placement, students have to complete 1 food and beverage role and 1 non-food and beverage role in that 3 work integrated learning semesters. And as the placement are being paid, in Australia, the average wage of work placement is about $20 to $25 an hour, depending on the award, but generally the hotel will follow the national award wage. These are the requirements or the entry requirements for our Bachelor of Business. So for the English requirements, we require IELTS minimum overall 6 with minimum 5.5 in any band, or PTE 50 with nothing in writing and speaking below 45. In terms of the academic entry requirement, it really varies between countries. So please check on our website. I've provided that link there as well. You can see, you know, depending on which countries that you're residing or nationality of, you can see the academic entry requirement there for our bachelor degree. We also encourage any applicant that may have studied and, you know, not completing a previous hospitality in management sort of course in the past, or having a diploma, for example, to apply for the recognition of prior learning, because then our academic team can review that and see if we can provide any credit or status as well. Now, during the Bachelor of Business Hospitality Management, students are required to wear a uniform. So they normally purchase that in that first year of study, which lasts them for the 3 years that they are studying this degree. And that includes a business suit. So we provide all of that information once you are enrolled at ICHM. For the Master of International Hotel Management, the duration of this course is 2 years. The students will study 3 academic semesters or 18 months. And then for the last 6 months of this course, they will be doing professional practice and research in industry. So they'll be doing the work integrated learning placement in the last 6 months of this degree. So with this one, during the work integrated learning, they are required to have a minimum of 600 hours for that 6 months. And again, like the bachelor degree, we encourage anyone that has had previous work experience and also academic studies in relevant subjects to apply for recognition of prior learning, and we can review that accordingly. In terms of the entry requirements, the Master of International Hotel Management English requirement is slightly higher than the Bachelor one. So 6.5 for IELTS with no band less than 6.0. PTE is 58 with no score below 50. If you don't meet that English requirement and you happen to get a 6, you've studied a bachelor degree, but your English requirements is English result is a 6 in IELTS, no band below 5.5, then you may be able to enroll into our graduate certificate, which is nested within the Master of International Hotel Management. So the graduate certificate is actually the first 6 months of that master degree. So you're not really doing, it's not any extending the duration of the study. It's just that it's a good pathway to go into the master. And it's an automatic pathway as well if you do pass, the subjects that you study in the graduate certificate. In terms of the academic requirement, yes, you do have to complete a bachelor degree before applying to the master. And these are some of our global alumni network as well that we are really proud of, having operated for more than 30 years. We do have, more than 2,500 alumni network that is a really great showcase of our course and where they are at. As well at the moment. It's a good inspiration for our current students as well. So these are just some of the alumni that I showcased today. Work integrated learning, such a big part of ICHM as an institution in our courses as well. And we work with a number of valued industry partners across hospitality and broader business industries, and both within Australia and around the world as well. So these are just some of the big brands that we do work together, both here in Australia and around the globe. I thought I'd just put some photos of those hotels to sort of give you some inspiration. Most of these hotels are located in Australia and some are actually in Adelaide. Adelaide has grown so much and we have opened up, I think 4 or 5 hotels in the last 2-3 years, which is a great, show. It shows that Adelaide is growing and there's definitely a demand for career within the hospitality and hotels as well. So, our students pick really amazing destination during their work integrated learning to experience, to live in those places. You don't really get opportunities like that, in other university or institutions. So some of our students have gone to Hamilton Island, which is part of Queensland, and enjoy a tropical sort of lifestyle during their time there 6 months. Some chose to go to bigger cities like Melbourne and Sydney as part of their placements. Some would like to stay in Adelaide. There's some beautiful hotels in Adelaide as well. I thought I also just put some of the career outcomes that the students or our graduate have get to once they graduated either the Bachelor of Business or the Master of International Hotel Management. So these are just some of the roles that is available within the industry. But again, the skills that you get after you graduate or whilst you're working in industry are very much transferable to any other businesses and any other industries as well. So some of our alumni have either, open up their own business or work with other industries, in government, human resources, recruitment agency, telecommunications, advertising, and things like that as well. Mentioned this briefly before, 𝐸𝐴 on Weymouth is one of our recommended student accommodation here, just because of its proximity to the campus, which is 7-minute walk. Also has really great facilities that students can access to, like on-site laundry, gym, things like that as part of their offering. Some of the photos from our students on campus. So we do in our first, I think in the 2nd or 3rd week that the new students arrive on campus, we take professional photo session. So that photos they can use on their resume or even on their LinkedIn profile as well as part of their professional branding. We also do things like Casual Tuesday, where students are allowed to wear smart casual to campus instead of the normal business attire that we do require students to wear on other days. We sometimes provide student lunches. So as part of a student engagement event, the student engagement group might host some lunches for the students cohort. We do International Day, where we highlight, a particular culture, so that and also to celebrate the diversity of culture within the ICHM community. So we get together once per semester to highlight those type of cultures as well. Sometimes we also take students out to go to events as part of their class. So you don't just sit down in a classroom, you sometimes get to experience and go into, like this photo here, they went to Tasting Australia. I believe that was as part of the event management subject. We take students to hotel as part of their art and design subject, or we go to the art gallery as part of that as well. So you don't just sit down in a classroom, you do a lot of interactive workshops and things like that within ICHM. So not as boring, I guess. More student photos. So we sometimes involve students in client events. So if we hosting, education partners and things like that, we do involve students to then they get practice about customer experience and things like that. Scholarships. I'm sure this is a topic that is very much in the mind of everyone. So we are currently offering up to 30% international scholarship. So with undergraduate being 20%, postgraduate 25% for the standard scholarship for our 2024 intakes. So if you're interested, this is probably the best time to apply. We don't think we've ever had this big of a scholarship, and it does apply for the duration of study, as long as you obviously pass the subjects. So yeah, if you're interested to apply, this is the best time to do it, because yeah, we never had this big of a scholarship before. And again, we also have that merit scholarship where if you have previous academic merit, really excel in your previous study or perhaps industry experience, and someone can write you a reference letter and things like that, we can look at that and review to hopefully get you that 30% scholarship as well. I thought I'd touch base on the admission process, but I'm sure Aussizz can also, provide you with this type of information. Essentially, you would, apply through your agent. You get a conditional offer from us, which can state things like genuine entrance process or GTE, and then once you complete that process, then you can sign and upload acceptance form, and then payment will be requested for COE issuance. But yeah, Prasamsa can go in detail about this with you if you have any questions. These are again some of the things that you must check before you submit your applications to get that unconditional offer from us as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in summary, I thought I touch base on that 3 courses as the main core courses that we offer. So the Bachelor of Business again in Hospitality Management, a graduate certificate in International Hotel Management should you not meet that Master of International Hotel Management requirements. Intake dates again, 4th of March, 20th of May, 12th August, and 28th of October for next year. We've got 20% scholarship for the undergraduate study and 25% for the postgraduate. And yeah, with international students, you are required to pay the new student fee of $250, but that's only applicable to that first point of payment, if that makes sense. And then I also put here that bachelor students are required to wear uniform and must purchase your own. And that's sort of the approximate cost. But again, it will last you for the 3 years. And follow ICHM on socials for the latest updates, student stories. We often put some students' videos, live stream of the classes and things like that as well on our socials. So it's great if you have any, if you follow us, you can get the latest updates. Any questions?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, Dina, for the awesome information. Like you've covered all the information. So just to give them the highlight, yes. So the upcoming intake for Bachelors of Business, Hospitality Management and Masters of Hotel Management, the upcoming intake is March 2024, and then May, August and October for next year. Right.
That's correct.
So just a few questions, like the regular frequently asked question by the interested student who want to pursue this course. So you mentioned something about the entry requirements for the course already, right? I mean, the English requirement for bachelors, they need overall 6, each one not less than 5.5, and then for masters, it's overall 6.5, not less than 6. So is there any additional documents required except the English for the admission? So if you can provide me a bit of details about the required document.
Yeah, so you are required to provide obviously a copy of your ID, any academic transcripts. So if you're applying for the Bachelor of Business, generally you would have an academic transcript from your high school, for example, and for the master, you generally would have an academic transcript from your bachelor degree. We may also ask for your resume if you have claimed that you have work experiences, especially if it's within the industry. We would love to see that as part of your application. And you may also get asked things like financial capacity, perhaps reference letter is something that I think I've seen quite a few as well. And if you have any study or work gap that you may have within your life, then we would require an explanation on why there was a gap as well.
Along with the evidence of documents, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. And then for offshore application, of course, the important documents are the GT document, which will be considered as financial and the statement of purpose. So you have a standard format for statement of purpose that the student need to provide all the information in that format.
Yes, that's correct. So once we send you the conditional offer with the with offshore students having the GTA requirement, we'll send through all the forms that you will need to complete, and you just follow that and submit it back to us.
Okay. Yeah. And currently, as you're aware, like most of the students from around the world, they're interested to pursue their higher qualification in Australia. Like even though if they have a gap of few years, so is there any like certain limitations for gap for the student that is there any restrictions, or the gap must be certain years or something like
that? From an institution point of view, I don't believe so. It might be different in terms of an immigration point of view. I think that there has been some sort of limitation. But yeah, we review every applicant's case by case. So, as long as you're interested, you have the right documentation, you show that you are passionate within the industry. I think we're more than happy to review that. We certainly look at each student profile as case by case scenario.
Yeah, sure. It totally depends upon the profile of the student, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that answer. And then so you mentioned about the placement, the course that ICHM is offering for masters and bachelors. It's very attracting to the student. Like while they're studying, they can do the placement, and the placement is also the paid placement. So they'll earn money while getting a hands-on skill on the relevant field, and it'll be easy for them to gain like experience or employment opportunities in future as well.
Yes, that's correct. So for the
Right.
bachelor, for example, they will then have 1.5 years of working experience, which is, it shows a great experience when they do find, wanting to find a job in the future. And also because, obviously with the course structure, as you can see, they're finishing in the industry. So essentially they already got a job. So if they perform really well in that placement, in their last placement, most of the time the employer would offer them a permanent job as well.
Yeah, that's great. And then are you organizing the placement for the student, or student need to search for that placement?
Yes, so we do organize the placement for students. We have a dedicated industry and career development manager that source placement for our students. And yeah, we work with big hospitality brands across Australia and overseas as well. And the process really starts quite early when they enroll at ICHM. So basically, I think in that 3rd or 4th week that they start with us, we ask them to list their preferred destinations. We also ask them to prepare their resume. They will then meet one-on-one with the industry and career development manager to then look at and then the manager will then do research on the available positions at a host organization.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's a great opportunity for the aspiring student who wants to make their career in the hospitality, so they can work on the relevant field while they're studying. Yeah, I think we've got one question. This question, they said, are there practical component in ICHM hotel management program to ensure students get hands-on experience in the industry? I think we've just covered the answer. Or if you do want to add some points for that.
Yeah, so before they even go to the placements, our subjects has some practical component to it, predominantly in the Bachelor of Business and that first year of Master as well. So they will go through food and beverage training, such as cocktail making, coffee making, wine studies, restaurant service, how to set up restaurants. They also go through housekeeping, practical learning. So they would go to a hotel and actually clean a real hotel room. So we work together with our industry partner to facilitate that. We also have a culinary class in that first year to do some basic cooking skills. And then and it's sort of similar to the master as well. In that first year, they will be doing some food and beverage and housekeeping practical learning.
Okay. Yeah. Can you mention some of the industry partners? I think you've mentioned that in the presentation. So can you highlight the most like the close industry partners where you've been sending the student for the placements?
Yeah, they are varied because there's so many new hotels opening as well. In Adelaide itself, we work too closely because they are located across the road from us, Sofitel Adelaide. So Sofitel is part of the Accor brand, and yeah, they've been a really big supporter of us. In some other states, we work closely with Intercontinental Hotels Groups or IHG. So they have brands such as Intercontinental, Crown Plaza, Holiday Inn, things like that as part of their brand. We also work together with some Marriott International properties, so Westin, W, as part of that. And in Melbourne, I think we work also closely with Hyatt as part of the industry partner.
So they can choose the other states also. It's not mandatory that they have to do the placement in Adelaide only.
Yeah, we actually encourage students to go out and do the
explore
placement in another state. Predominantly because there are some hotels that are not in Adelaide, and we always say don't miss out on this opportunity.
Yes, yeah, that's good for them. We've got another question. Can you please provide example of internship turning into full-time job? How frequent does that happen?
Oh, I don't think I'll be able to pick one particular example that come to mind, unfortunately. How frequent does that happen? Very frequent. Yeah, so let me just have a think. I think there was one student that took her placement at the Crown Plaza here, and then she then continued on to be, to become a full-time employee at the hotel in a different department. So I think she did her placement in food and beverage, but then got the opportunity to go into front office.
Yes, I think I met one of the alumni of ICHM in Sofitel reception as well, like the customer service. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I would add on to this, actually, like it depends upon the student performance as well, right? So of course the university won't be able to guarantee, but then you will be helping them to get the placement. It depends upon the student, how they perform during the placement. If if the manager are impressed with the performance of the student, they might offer the job. So it's totally dependent on the performance of the student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because during placement as well, they are becoming a paid employee of the host organization. So essentially the hotel will make the final decision whether they would employ the student based on the interview and things like that as well.
Yes. Definitely, yes. So yeah, just moving forward, you've already provided us the information about the scholarship. So I just want to highlight about it again. Right, so you said that you're offering scholarship to 20 to 25% for postgraduate course, and then like for bachelor's and masters. Bachelor's 20%, masters 25%.
That's correct.
Right, and is there any such criteria that they need to meet to avail this scholarship?
So that will just be upon meeting the entry requirements that we have, that they can be reviewed for that scholarship.
And then 30% scholarship is for merit scholarship.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. So
but then there will be certain criteria.
Correct. Yeah. So they have to sort of achieve, distinction, if not high distinction, from their previous studies, and also, industry experience and things like that that we take into account when reviewing those scholarships. Yeah.
And then that scholarship is for entire study period.
Correct. It's for duration of study. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, sure. And then, one more question that I have. You mentioned about the package course. Let's say that if the student did not meet the requirement, English requirement, they you do offer graduate certificate course leading to Masters of Hotel Management, right?
Yes.
And then the duration for graduate diploma, is that for 6 months?
That's for 6 months. So graduate certificate for 6 months. Yeah.
And then Masters
for 2 years. So when you enter through the graduate certificate, essentially that will be the first semester of the master. So if you pass that subject, you'll automatically, can get a pathway to that master, and you then have 1.5 years left.
Okay. So all entire duration along with the graduate certificate leading to masters will be 2 years only.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So moving forward, I've got one more question, which is like, what support service does ICHM provide to the student, such as career counseling, mental health support, and tutorial? So as you've mentioned in the presentation, it's so exciting that they have lots of like events that they can participate. There are lots of like other things happening in the college while they're pursuing the study. So do you have any other facilities for the international students?
Yeah, so, obviously we do have the industry and career development manager that will support them in their career journey throughout their study here in ICHM. We also have learning support advisor that will help students to go through their academic studies, making sure that they know about assignments, how to do the assignments, referencing, spell check and things like that as well as part of her role. And then we also make sure that students have available, accessible to the counseling services that we have. So they do have all of that available for their time during their study at ICHM. But as we are a small institution, we do operate as a community, as a family. So even the lecturers will provide you with a personalized support as well if you do need that. They would know you by name as well. So they would make sure that they have the support that they need.
So of course, like in the orientation, of course, you'll be providing all the information to the student, but then student need to be proactive to reach out to the concerned department for the help, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, moving ahead, I think you've already covered all the information in the presentation. We've got one more question, so which is, what are the ICHM future and goals for expansion of improvement?
Yeah, there are still some improvements to be done in our Adelaide campus at the moment, especially in our level 2 to enhance that student experience further, which we're hoping to happen in 2024. But also, depending on the demand in the market, we may open another ICHM campus in another city in Australia, which can be quite exciting. So yeah, don't forget to follow us on socials, because then you'll get the latest update as well.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So just moving forward to the end of the live session, I just want to check. You mentioned that the upcoming intake is March, May, August, and October. So for March intake, is there any such deadlines that you have to submit the application by this date or something like that?
Yeah, if you are onshore, you probably have a little bit more flexibility in terms of date. We probably would like you to apply 30 days prior to your intake date. If you are offshore, be mindful that you do still have to go through that GTE process, for example, and also your visa application process. So don't leave it too long. I'll probably suggest 60 days prior to the intake, just to give you a little bit more leeway in case things happened during your visa application. Again, if you do, for example, miss start on the March intake, you don't get your visa in time, which can, as you know, can happen quite often. We got all you need to wait is 3 months and you can get into our May intake.
Yeah, sure. Yes, so thank you so much for the insightful session, and then you provided all the required information for our international student. So all the viewers, if you're interested to pursue your study and career in hospitality, ICHM is the best university. They do offer bachelor's of hotel management, bachelor's of business, specialization in hospitality management, and master's of hotel management with the paid placement. Of course, like they have semester wise. So in bachelor's, every second semester there will be placement. First semester is theory, whereas in masters at the end, like last semester, that will be a placement. So of course, you don't have to stress about looking for the placement, and while studying you'll be gaining the experience in the particular fields that will lead you to the future pathways for your visas and your better career opportunities. So yes, if you're interested, get in touch with us. We are here to help you and assist you to get into ICHM for the upcoming intake with scholarship, which is offered for 20% for bachelor's degree and then 25% for master's degree. And they do offer merit scholarship depending on the profile of the student, the academic background, and the English score, or all the previous experiences. So yes, of course, like you can keep in touch with us in the below mentioned detail, and then contact any of our Aussizz group branches here in Australia and the other countries as well. So yeah, hope to see you guys in another live session.